Hi everybody, my name's James, and recently I had the opportunity to go down to the Redwoods in California. I live in Idaho, and my sister recently moved to California. Well, opposite of what everybody's doing, but she decided to go to California. I recently had a baby boy in my life, and it's been awesome. But we wanted to make this trip with a 2-month-old. We had a great SUV, but decided maybe we should try a van. I've kind of hit a point in my career where a lot of people buy either campers, RVs, vans, whatever weird thing it is. It sucks, your pocket's dry and you use one time a year. So I wanted to try a van, but I wanted to rent it first. I mean, these are very big purchases. A lot of these vans start at $100,000 and they go up from there. So I found an app called Outdoorsy. There's multiple apps that you can utilize within this realm of renting RVs, trailers, camper vans, homemade Chevy Astro vans converted into a Sprinter type van. I procrastinated a little bit, and I had about 4 days to find the ideal van. So I found this one. It was a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. That is the dream, right? Diesel, supposedly gets really good gas mileage. And this was a Tommy Bahama edition of the Sprinter van. It was all decked out. It was super nice. One sold on bringing a trailer for $100,000, and it was a few years old. It was like, wow. Saw the pictures of it. Looked beautiful. Came from a really nice part of town. The person was older. I requested to rent that van from them. It was going to be a little over $1,000, and then you have to pay like some overage fees per mile that you go over. And so I got excited. I was sending it to people like, no way, I just rented this. I'll see you, my sister in California soon. I'm renting this van. And I got rejected. I got an email the next day that said, hey, so-and-so rejected you. I was like, geez, it's up at me back to square one. So then I need to find another van. So this one, I started looking and I'm like, dang, a van and an RV go for about the same price on Outdoorsy, but you get crappier gas mileage, so you pay more in gas, yada, 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 right? Like pros here, cons here, whatever. I was like, it's a rental. I'm just trying to get this experience to know if I like it or not. So I found an E350, which is a van, right? In fairness, it's a van front, RV, and it was like $1,200 for the time that I was gonna use it. I'm like, awesome. Message the guy, he's like, hey, I'll totally approve you, but it doesn't have hot water. And part of his fees, you had to pay for him to give you clean bed sheets. So I didn't want to rent from him. And this van, RV, would get 12 miles per gallon compared to like 17 or 18 of the Sprinter type or ProMaster type vans. So I said no, and once again, I didn't have a van. All right, and I found this Winnebago Solis 2022, sleeps 4, has 2 different beds. And I saw this van when I first opened the Outdoorsy app, but it was booked for the day that I was gonna need to pick it up. And I was like, it's not gonna work out, it's not gonna work out. So I messaged them, like, hey, can I actually do a late pick or early pickup for Thursday? And they got back to me and said, no problem at all, pay a fee. Like, absolutely, sounds good. So I was able to secure the van with about 2 days to spare. And I was a little nervous, had never looked at the van, didn't know the maintenance history on it, didn't know anything about it. And I, of course, like every grown-up in America should do, you deny all the expensive insurance, you deny the roadside assistance, and you're on your own. That's life. Yeah. So we got the Winnebago Solis, it's 2022, and we were ready to go. The plan was for me to drive over on Thursday. The host of that van was extremely accommodating. They were awesome. They do this a lot. It's their personal van. They have awesome trips that they've gone with their family. She let me leave my motorcycle in their driveway and they watched over it. It was just a little Honda Navi too, so I mean, if it got stolen, I could live without it. But just really nice people and a really nice van to utilize. So we were excited. We had our 2 kids, the wife and me, and we were gonna boogie on Thursday night all the way to Bend, Oregon and then sleep, and then keep driving to California and get to the beach. Because my wife wanted to go to the beach postpartum, and I think that it was extremely helpful for her to try to get there. All right, so we left from Boise, Idaho to go to Crescent City, California. This is part of the Redwoods. I was so ignorant about the Redwoods. I've just always wanted to go. I thought it was cool that they had big trees. I didn't know that the Redwoods stretched through a good portion of California and that you had to drive a long way to go through all the Redwoods. So starting in Crescent City, we worked our way down about 50 miles through other cities that were a part of the Redwoods that were along the coast. Beautiful experience, amazing. Like being able to get down there and not having to stop every time you need to go to the bathroom. Being able to have a bathroom on the van was awesome. Having a refrigerator, granted you can like get a little cooler in your car, I know. You can get a porta potty in your car too, like I know. But just having everything set up is so easy. And then having the sink there to wash your hands, having the bed in the back for the kids to just sleep when they're ready to go to bed, and the wife to be able to take a nap, and having 4 seats with their car seats on it. It was just a premium setup. So we made it to Bend, Oregon, popped up the top, made the bed. The kids and my wife slept down below, and I slept up top by myself. And it worked out great. We slept in a church parking lot. Nobody disturbed us. There were no window knocks or anything like that. And then the next morning we just drove down to Crescent City. So we finally made it. We made it to the beach. It was amazing. The tide was awesome, and it was surprisingly warm too. We found a lighthouse that we got to walk over to. We had to wade through some water. We started seeing these amazing redwood trees, which was the reason we were there in the first place, was to go see these trees. And a huge pro about the van, we were able to cook dinner on the beach one day. Okay, that van had an outdoor shower, so we had the true van life experience going on. Like we were able to roll up to the beach, eat our lunch at the beach, hang out, eat some food, use the bathroom if we need it. And once again, like it just takes up a car parking spot. You don't have a huge trailer. And then when we were done with the day, we set up the outdoor shower. We all took showers. We went back to the RV park that we were staying at, and we just had a good time at that point. Like we were able to not have to worry about taking showers and eating. Like we just went back and relaxed and made a fire. And it was great. Like I can totally see why people get these vans for that specific reason, and to allow them to have more fun on trips. We were able to see the solar eclipse that rolled in as well. And the great part about being in a small van is that you can go places where a traditional RV couldn't go. We found a kind of hidden beach that was down a dirt road where it really felt like the Oregon coast compared to Crescent City the day before. That was a typical California. And my sister and her family, they actually brought a trailer that they're currently living in. Her husband's a lineman, so they're living that line life and living in the trailer, and they'd have to leave it, hook up, unhook. Like we were able to just roll into all these camping spots, hook up real quick, just plug in. If we needed water, add some water, and then undo the water. Like it just has a 20-gallon reserve tank, and that was it. Like super simple, plug in. And we didn't even have to plug in because it has batteries and solar, but we chose to plug in because we didn't know how much energy we would need on the way back or how long we would need before the next time we plugged in. So anytime that we plug in, we'd make sure to plug in and top off all the batteries and to just run the heater and everything off of the electricity that the campground was providing, because we paid for that. That was a part of what we had to pay for. And like every great vacation, it comes to an end. You gotta go back to reality. You gotta go back home, back to cold Idaho. So here's a clip of me trying to get my family back home and how we did that and how we used the van to our advantage. All right guys, this is what it's looking like after a 4-day trip. This is what the van shape and condition is after 28 hours of drive time on it. Granted, we were idling quite a bit. We had some stop and go sections. We had the pop-up, right? So pop it up, boom. I drove, wife was able to come back. We had a 6-week-old and a 2-year-old. And so mom and the kids slept here because we didn't want a 2-year-old up here. The bathroom is just right here, which is super freaking handy. But changing kids, just slap them down, change a diaper, wash your hands, throw the trash away. The toilet's super easy to change. Let me show you the outside a bit. Okay, so this is all that it is. It's just that Dodge ProMaster, and then they add some lights and crap and most of your hookups. Yeah, I drove to Cali on that. Not mine. If it blew up, who cares? Like your propane's right there. This is just a super quick one. You get storage in the back. Right here, you got your outdoor shower there, which came in super handy. Storage up the wazoo. Like stuff goes under here and in the sides. Got storage there. Storage tucked up there. And the bed's big. I'm 6'1". I was pretty comfortable side to side and up top. No issues at all. You just plug in the electric, and then your gray water is right there. I just dumped mine in an approved location, let's just say that. Probably not looking the best. I woke up at 4 o'clock and just cruised home. Took 11.5 hours. So we went from the Redwoods, forget the outside of Crescent City, like 45 minutes. And then we drove all the way back up to the Boise, Idaho area. So that's what we did. I'm gonna price it out. I'm gonna give you a full breakdown, miles per gallon and everything. And this is the process I went through to drop off the van at the owner's property after my trip. I had a really simple interaction and a great interaction, and they were awesome. I actually ended up stealing, not on purpose, my daughter took it out and threw it in the grass, one of their brass fittings to make sure that the water pressure is the correct PSI going into the tank and it doesn't mess anything up. And I let them know that because they were awesome to me, and I ran it back over. It was like a 20-minute drive, but I made sure that they were taken care of. I brought everything back perfectly because they were just so kind and courteous. All right. So I'm taking the van back right now. I just got it fueled up. I'm gonna figure out total cost of gas and everything. This is the trip. We had 17.8 for miles per gallon, 1343, and there were 12 miles on it. And we traveled for 28 and 8 minutes. Wait, 28 hours and 8 minutes. There we are. Yeah, I'm feeling that 4 o'clock wake up. But 2 monsters and a lot of caffeine pills have gotten us to this point. So vehicle has no damage, no crazy like windshield damage or anything. This is probably my favorite part of it. You got that rear view mirror that is actually a camera, so you can have all the windows up in the back, so people can be sleeping back there, but you can still see people. So, and then you still have a backup cam down here, and pretty handy. All right, well, I'm gonna go finish this out, see how the transaction back to him goes. So yeah, this is it, Old Winnebago. Got the tanks emptied. Took me about an hour to clean up and about 25 minutes to get over here. So no damage to it. Tires are just a little bit more bald, but we'll see how this checkout goes. I just messaged the lady, give her the key, and hopefully you just get out of here. All right, I gave them the keys. I left my bike in front of their garage. They were very kind and let me do that, and that's it. So we're all set. I kept the receipts for this specific reason, so I could verify it. The money. We burned about 76 gallons of fuel to go from Boise, Idaho to the Redwoods in California, Crescent City, and a little bit down the coast. That cost of gas, surprisingly, was only $324.91. Now, Outdoorsy has a payment system where you pay up front, and I paid like $100 extra so I could pick it up a day early. So those fees for just the van were $1,091.97. Plus, I had to pay a mileage overage because I basically used it as like a hotshot rig that weekend. So me and my family could go have fun. and that was $508.48, bringing my grand total of this van experience to $1,925.36. Now you might be thinking, oh, you didn't add food. Oh, you didn't add campgrounds or this, that. Like, you don't have to stay at a campground in the van, so I'm gonna leave that out. And food, we were gonna freaking fast for 4 days straight. Like, you're gonna spend money on food regardless. That's the way that I view trips. I don't factor that in. We were able to just use food from our kitchen because we had our fridge and we had our stove. So it was a normal experience for us. And sales tax. So roughly, that sales tax on that van that I could buy and say, oh my gosh, like I have this van, would be $6,000. So for a third of that cost, I was able to use the gas to fuel that van. I was able to rent the van and drive to and from California. Like, that blows my mind. It was a ton of fun. I didn't have to worry about the van. I wasn't like, oh, racking up miles, the tires, the maintenance, I'm gonna have to store it and wash it, and I'm gonna have to make sure that it's perfect for the next time we take it out. Like, no, I was just able to use it. I cleaned it up. Like, I didn't destroy anything. They were very kind, and it was a great experience in that manner, due to the fact that sometimes our mental capacity is more valuable than our finances. And in this situation, I think financially it makes more sense due to the depreciation rate of these vans and motorhomes, and the fact that it was a huge craze during COVID, and now you're starting to see vans just drop off and trailers drop off. People aren't buying the new ones like they used to. If you want to go get a good deal, go to a freaking dealership that sells RVs of any kind or vans. They would be happy to work a deal with you. But for me, in my stage of life right now, I'm happy to pay someone $2,000 so that me and my family can go have a good time and never worry about that van again. So would I use Outdoorsy again? Absolutely. Would I rent that exact van again? 100%. The one con though, I will put a disclaimer out, that van did not have air conditioning. Yes, a $102,000 van did not have air conditioning. It just has a little vent. Granted, you have like the van air conditioning, but it's not built in to the back. Like, you can crank the AC and hope that it circulates enough, and we went during a not hot time of year. I just don't want somebody to be sweating throughout all summer and be like, hey, this guy recommended this van because I chose to go when it was cold because I knew I didn't have air conditioning. That's my 2 cents on the van. That's my opinion. You can think I'm wrong, but I'm not, because it's my opinion. If you have a tip or trick on how to make this type of trip more affordable, if you're like, oh, you should have bought it and written it off as a business expense through your daughter's LLC that you're paying as, like, whatever you have, share it. I'd love to hear it in the comments. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you like this type of content. I'm going to be putting out a lot more content and being able to just do things that I want to do and share it with all of you. So thanks so much. Have a good one.